Good afternoon, Blues fans. Welcome to any Huddersfield fans and welcome to the footballing world at large. If you've come to view this Tuesday night fixture in a very dreary West Midlands St Andrews at United Park, how's everyone feeling? I myself feel quite nervous, I'm going to be honest. I've seen a lot of Blues fans talking on social media and they're filled with confidence and I'd say borderline arrogance, and it's almost as if they've forgotten we're Birmingham City. And I don't mean to come with the glass half empty. Glass? No way. I'm English. With that glass half empty sort of feel. But don't write Huddersfield off. It's the worst thing we can do as fans is to look past the team and think, God, they've lost five in their last six, five in their last six, isn't it? Yeah. Six in their last seven, sorry, I think it is. To look past them and think, well, steamroll them, on we go to the next one, and we're already looking at the next fixture. Look, we actually have a few similarities to Huddersfield in terms of, like, when they concede, they actually start playing a little bit, and that's the way we kind of... Well, we have a slow first 20 minutes anyway, and then come the end of that 20 minutes, we generally start to play football. However, we've already conceded in that time, so whether that's a false alignment in what I'm looking at there. But the biggest problem with Huddersfield, I'd say, with looking at them, is the mentality of the players. That's how it looks to me. You don't know what Huddersfield you're going to get. And it doesn't necessarily depend on the opposition they play, depends on the Huddersfield you get. It kind of just looks like you're rolling the dice every time they come out. I've watched, obviously doing the YouTube videos, before I come on and do a video, I go back and I watch the highlights of some of the games, I watch the player and the manager's interviews. Look, there's a big split at Huddersfield at the minute, and it's kind of pulling on my heartstrings, I can't lie. I'm going to be honest, I don't like Huddersfield. I feel like Huddersfield fans give us stick day in, day out, all last season. I don't know what it is. Whenever Blues are just getting, people are poking fun at Blues, it always seems to be the Huddersfield fans leading the charge for me. Other than like the Villa fans, which is, I can deal with that because they're our rival. Huddersfield, I just don't get it. But, however, when I see a working class club in kind of like a gradual decline, it does pull on the heartstrings because I can sympathise with that a lot. We've been there as Blues fans before the buyout. It's completely different when you see a bloody Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea getting hit with stuff and their club struggling. I don't care about that. That's corporate, that's commercial, I don't really care. But when I see a working class club, it does pull on my heartstrings a little bit, and I think, God, I can sympathise with that. That's real people, there's real jobs on the line, and I'm not saying that they're going into liquidation. I just mean there's a split. People are calling for the owner's head, Cartwright. People are calling for Michael Duff's head. People are, they're at the players. And look, I can sympathise with every bit of that. We have been there. Michael Duff, I've got really mixed opinions because for me, when you're inconsistent, when you don't know what team you're going to get, that's down to the manager. You've got championship level players in League One, so we know the quality of the players is there if they choose to come out and perform and do so. However, they don't seem to be doing that. And for me, then you have to look at the manager. And I'll give you an example of why I believe that, because this has largely changed for me over the past few months. Everyone knows we got rid of Eustace and brought Rooney in and we were shocking under Rooney. Okay. When Chris Davies come in, before all the transfers were made, some of them players, take Deion Sanderson for example, take... Who else can you... Paik was already good, don't get me wrong, but he found something in these players that were kind of like, they were average, they were decent, and he's brought something out of them that we hadn't seen. Like Sanderson looks like a different player under Chris Davies. I know we haven't seen him play in a few weeks, but he looked a lot better. So for me, just seeing that, it kind of reinforces the idea that it's up to the manager to get something out of these players. And some players are lost causes. I'm not saying they're not. So when I see Michael Duff saying, I think we were dominant in the first half in the Reading game, I look and I think, really? I don't think you were, personally. I thought you were dreadful in the Blackpool game. But, that could be down to the new manager, Steve Bruce bounce. I don't think Huddersfield are a bad team. I really don't. But whether Michael Duff is the guy to get them out of where they're at, I don't know. He seems a little bit delusional for me. And that's always the most concerning thing. If a manager comes out and says, God, we were awful, we need to do this, we need to do that. But when he's saying, he's almost like he's watched a different game, that's very concerning for me. I'm not saying you're not going to come out and do a job today. I think the fight will be there. However, I think if Birmingham City score first, I think that could be problems for Huddersfield. I really do. I think it could be anything. If we can see first, I don't think it's that much of a problem, I can't lie. Because our ability to come back and the quality we've got in the team is fantastic. And it's like the players have been there before multiple times. The one thing I don't want to see is a goalkeeper mistake. I'd love to see Allsop get a run out. I think he deserves it. I think the whole point of having two keepers in the squad is so that one makes a mistake, the other one gets to come in. So having 4 mistakes in a month, I don't know what Allsop's got to do to get into the team. And I'm not calling for Peacock Farrell's head. I think he just needs a little time away from the first team, even if it's 2-3 games, to get his head straight, focused. You know, I said it in the last video. In the grand scheme of things, he's only had a bad month. You know, it's not a long time in a footballing career, but unfortunately, as a goalkeeper, them mistakes are things that get remembered. 4 mistakes in a month, 3 for England, 1 for Northern Ireland. That's got to weigh on you at some point. It's pressure on your centre backs that your centre backs don't need. You know, and I heard Chris Davis was saying that I know it's easy to look at Peacock Farrell for last week's mistake, but you've also got to call into question were the defenders in the right position? Was there a man on? You know, he doesn't solely lie with Peacock Farrell, but for me, as a professional goalkeeper, you've got to be doing better there. So the one thing I don't want to see tonight is a goalkeeper mistake. So if we go on and score first, I think it could be really, big problems for Huddersfield. A lot of the problems seems to stem from this lackadaisical approach from some of the players. It's almost like the heads drop a little bit too easy. And I get it, Michael Duff talked in his post-match interview in the Reading game saying that it's a club that's used to losing and needs to get them used to winning ways. And they are almost word for word exactly what Chris Davis said on his arrival at the Blues. And that is a lot easier to do when you've had the transfer budget we have had. I understand that. So I'm not drawing a false comparison. But some players are used to losing. And that's what he's trying to get rid of. And it's very hard to do. It's the hardest thing in a manager's job to do, isn't it? The notifications come out yesterday. St Andrews have opened the Upper Gilmerick. Huddersfield haven't filled out their away capacity. And that is not me pointing the finger, by the way. I'll give it large on social media about it. Don't get me wrong. But, look, the way I see it is, if the tables were turned and Huddersfield were where Blues are and Blues were where Huddersfield are, would I make the 6-hour round trip to Huddersfield, the John Smith's Arena, on a Tuesday night to watch us get arseholed? No, I probably wouldn't, if I'm completely honest, knowing I've got work tomorrow. And some of these Huddersfield fans coming out, I think there's 800 to 1,000. I think we give them an allocation of 2,000 and they've halved it or whatever. Some of these Huddersfield fans coming down tonight, I've got work tomorrow, and they're coming down with having lost 6 in the last 7, going against the strongest team probably League One has ever seen. 6 wins on the bounce, looking to make it 7. And they're still coming down. So I take the hat off to them. They're a better man than me, because I don't know if I would, if I'd be there. And so I'm not going to be the guy that points the finger at, calls Huddersfield fans fickle. But, it is poor. In the grand scheme of things, you'd want to be selling this out. But I completely sympathise with the individual fan thinking, I don't think I'd be doing that. So look, you are going to take a lot of stick for it, especially tonight. They'll sing about it. I won't lie to you. But it is what it is. Okay, predictions. I just want to let you all know, I've got the last 2 predictions right, and I've yet to win any money from it. So maybe tonight's the night I actually put a bet on. I called the 2-0 away to Rotherham, and I called the 3-2 to Peterborough. And I said this to my dad, and he went, yeah, that's fair enough, but you say about 4 different scorelines when you do your prediction. I thought, fair enough, I've got to cover all bases. Tonight, I'm going to go for... I'm stuck between a 2-0 and a 3-1 for Birmingham. I think I'm going to go with a 2-0. The only reason I'm going with a 2-0 is because if Blackpool can do it, so can we. I think if we score first... 2-0. I'm going for 2-0. I'm back in the 2-0. Chris Davis is in the stands tonight, so we don't have him on the sideline. That's also affecting my decision. I spoke to a lot of Blues fans, and most Blues fans don't even think it will be a problem. And I hope it's not. I hope you're right. But I think having your manager there, having the teacher just throwing the whip, do think it does something. I'm going to stick with 2 now. Line up for tonight with Blues. I've seen a lot of people going for a changed 11. I'd have Reynolds up in goal. I'd have Taylor Gardner hit back Reitman. Taylor Gardner hit back Reitman. Taylor Gardner Hitman at right back. You got to go Clara and Bealey. You can't change it. I love a centre back partnership. I don't think I've loved a centre back partnership like this in a very long time. You got to go Cochrane. I feel bad for Cochrane, man. At some point he's going to need a day off when Buchanan's back, or I could even see maybe a Samstead coming out to left back just to give him the time off, so he's fresh for the Charlton game on Saturday. But I can't see it. I can't see it. Paikin and Water in the middle. I'm sounding like a broken record. That Paikin and Water, I think it's actually starting to get the credit from the wider footballing world on how good they are. A lot of people saying the best centre mid partnership outside of the Premier League, and then obviously there's the Barnsley joke saying, I back him. I can't think of a Championship centre mid partnership that's better than that one for me personally. We got the 3 in front with William Williamson, who played phenomenal against Peterborough. He is so silky. I've never seen a 6'3" man move like he does. What a god. Out on the right, who did we play on the right? So you got Hansen on the left, possibly Yokoyama. I'd like to see Yokoyama. I think he's direct. On the right, does Scott Wright get his start? I'm giving Scott Wright his start. Let's see if Scott Wright has something to offer from the start of a game. I know he started in the Walsall game, but I'm not judging anyone based off that. And then obviously you got Stansfield up front. No, because could we have Stansfield on the right and then May up front? I'd love to see Alfie May start tonight. I'm missing him, if I'm honest. And I'm not saying I'm sick of Lyndon Dykes, but he just hasn't produced anything. If there's no output from a striker, I don't really know why they're hold up play and what rate will only get you so far. Alfie May will get you a goal, maybe 2, and I'd love to see it. Just because I don't want him becoming disenfranchised with the system. I'm talking way too much, but I don't want him disenfranchised with what we're trying to do, because he wants to score goals, and as a striker, you can't blame him, can you? Let's wrap it up there. I felt like I've waffled a little bit too much. Nervy times for me. I hope your confidence plays off, Blues fans. Huddersfield fans, best of luck. I think we're about here. But I mean, best of luck in terms of the grand scheme of things. I hope you get that ownership and Mark Woodruff thing sorted out, man, because it is costing your club and there is a gradual decline in performance. At this point, I think pushing for playoffs is the goal. I know at first it was probably the autos, but I'm looking now thinking how strong Wrexham are. Stockport looked good, Peterborough looked very good when we played them. It's a tough one. Look, keep right on, guys. Take it easy. Like, comment, subscribe. The social media is always posted in and around the videos. If you drop us a follow on them, it helps us a lot. I know it doesn't look like much to you, but it helps me. It's good for just interactions, and it means a lot. And as always, drop a comment down in the comment section. Let me know how you feel, whether you're a Blues fan, Huddersfield, or just football fan. Let us know how you feel about the video, about the Blues, about the game. Keep right on, guys. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.